God's plan. God's plan. I hold back sometimes.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Math Talk with Mr. Faison, and I'm Mr. Faison. So, today we're going to be rounding decimals. While y'all getting y'all pen and paper together, pencil and paper, I'm going to be throwing my gloves on so we get to work. All right? Rounding decimals. One of the rules we got to remember, if it's 5 and up, it goes up, right? If it's 4 and below, we just keep it the same. All right, I had 5.908, right? And they're asking me to round it to the ones place. Ones. Remember, behind the decimal, the first one is the tenths, right? So when we get in front of that decimal, the first one is the ones place. So remember, once we find out what they're asking for, we go to the number behind it. That 9 is more than 5, so we go up, right? So this 5 just turns to a 6. So it's 6. Right? Now, if I wanted to, what I could do is I could put a decimal and I could put 0, 0, 0. It's an infinity amount of zeros back here. We get behind the decimal, it's an infinity amount of zeros, meaning it's forever, ever. Forever, ever, forever, ever. All right? So it's that many zeros back there. But I could put 0, 0, whatever, or I could just put 6. Either one would be the correct answer. All right? So whichever one. Hopefully, as we're going through these, you're pausing them and trying to do them yourself. And they asking us to round to the nearest hundredths with a TH, right? They asking us to round to the nearest hundredths with a TH, right? So I look, and this is why it's so important that you have to understand one step so you can accomplish another step. Meaning, you got to understand the first part we went through so you can understand this part, all right? Because if you don't know the placements, then you're not going to solve this. You're not going to get this part right, all right? So we look ones. Is that the ones? Nah, it's not, is it? It's not, right? Tenths, because it's behind the decimal. Hundredths, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000. You feel what I'm saying? Boom. So what are they asking us for? They're saying round to the nearest hundredths, right? So we got tenths, hundredths. All right. So we look here. Now, we see the 8. Remember, we look at the number we need that they asked us to round for, and we go to the number behind it. That's more than a 5. So we round up, right? We got 4.3. I mean, my fault, 0.43. All right, 0.43, right? Everything behind this becomes zeros. So it's an infinity amount of zeros. It goes on and on and on. All right? So if you put 0.43000, that would still be correct. But you don't even got to do that. Don't stress yourself out. Just put 0.43. We got a number like this. I know numbers take long. But see, that's the thing. You see numbers like this, you get intimidated. You know what I'm saying? You start worrying about whether you're going to get it right or wrong because there's so many numbers you get confused. Don't even worry about it. Just do what you've learned. Do what you know, right? So they ask us round to the nearest thousands with a TH, thousands, right? So I start counting, right? Tenths, hundredths, thousands. All right. Now, what do? I look at the number behind that, right? So I'm gonna look at this 2. That 2 isn't more than 5. So what do? Remember I said you're gonna keep it the same, right? Now the one part I didn't tell you is this. 2.714. Right? That's going to be the answer. So we keep it the same and everything behind it changes to zeros. So all of this back here turns into zeros. All right? I'm going to do another one of those so you can understand what I'm saying about that. Oh, they got to give me a better eraser. You know what I'm saying? Put in the comments, get Mr. Faison a better eraser. You know what I'm saying? 8.125, right? And they asked us to round to the nearest tenths. They asked us to round to the nearest tenths. What do? For one, we find out what's in the tenths place. What number's in the tenths place? That 1. The 1 is in the tenths place. So I look behind that, right? That the number behind it is going to tell me whether or not we round up or we keep it the same. All right? So what I'm looking at is, we know we're gonna keep that the same. So I got 8.1, right? That's all it's gonna be is 8.1. Everything else behind it becomes zeros. So if you put 8.1, 0, 0, that's still correct. Or if you just did 8.1, that's still correct. However you wanna do it. As long as you understand that the rule, if it doesn't round up, we keep it the same and turn everything behind it to zeros. All right? Remember, when we're rounding, if it's 5 or more, when we round in decimals, if it's 5 or more, we round up. All right? If it's 4 or below, we keep it the same and turn everything behind it into zeros. Well, that's rounding decimals. And that's another episode of Math Talk with Mr. Faison. See y'all next time.
God's plan. God's plan.